For all those who don't know us, we are PEP.
Good evening, good evening. Welcome to this episode of Fresh Start Live with Fee and Pat, where the motto is, stay ready to keep them getting ready. I'm Pat.
And I'm Fee.
All right, so what do we have for the people today?
All right, today we're going to bring you the topic relationship.
Relationships.
And it's not that type of relationship where everybody was thinking about.
Right. I'm pretty sure that everybody automatically assumed male and female relationship.
All right, well, since some of them will be expecting for that, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
All right. So, what type of relationship? I mean, what would, sometimes we rehearse and it just things don't come out of the mouth right. Okay. So when you got out, what kind of relationship you got yourself into?
Well, when I got out, first and foremost, I was working on getting a divorce from a situation I had created while I was on the inside. But personally, it wasn't on my list of priorities to get into a relationship with a woman because I knew that there was a lot of things I wanted to do for myself, by myself, before I was ready for that. So that wasn't at the top of my list.
So how long it took you until you got in a relationship?
A year.
A year?
A year.
Did you tell yourself that you're going to wait for a year?
No, actually, Max is the reason it took me a year. Max made me a bet. We'll talk about that one off camera, yeah, but Max made me a bet. And it was kind of like, that was kind of fuel to my plan I already had in place. So I was like, okay, let's try it out.
So I think that's pretty smart of Max because he know most of the guy can't do it. So yeah. I think he always bet and then getting his free lunch.
Yeah. But it was a little bit more than lunch. But I appreciate you, Max. You really helped my reentry.
So you have seen a lot of guys who getting out. What are some of the mistakes these guys got themselves into?
Getting in relationships before they're ready, having no foundation, just based upon whether it's societal pressures, peer pressures, or something that festered in their mind while they were on the inside that a woman is missing from my life, so that's the first thing I need. So,
And I put those guys in this two categories, the one that gotten out and then rush into a relationship. All right, so you have one guys who came out and run into a relationship and really feel bad about it, but because they have already invested so much of their emotion, they stay with that woman, even though they know it's a bad person for them.
Right.
And they stay with it for a long time until they couldn't do it anymore. Wasted a lot of, time where they can grow or start rebuilding their life.
Yeah, and if they were lucky, they left that situation before the police became involved or 911 was called. But we've also seen the flip side of that because you've probably just received just as many calls late at night as I have as, bro, if you don't come get me, this is about to happen. So, yeah, those relationships, not so much.
And then on this second category of guy that got into a relationship is they treat this woman like a price. You see that a lot at some of the function. Guy getting out 1 week, 2 weeks, or even a month, haven't found a regular job yet, but already in a relationship.
After we talked about that, I was thinking, we used to call that a high school mentality, right? So it was kind of like, I'm going to date someone that the homeboys will say, oh, look at him, and we see that where a guy will be here today at one event and he's got woman on his arm, 2 months later another event with a different woman. And it's more of a look at me as opposed to I'm really trying to build and develop something with this woman.
Yeah, and all those relationships doesn't have a good ending.
Right.
So what is Pat way of prepare yourself for a good relationship?
I think first it starts before you get in a relationship with a woman, you have to work on the relationship with yourself. And I think a lot of men don't develop that relationship. And that's why I've asked a lot of men a lot of questions, simple as what kind of ketchup you like. Because until you take the time by yourself and really learn yourself, and that's the things you like, whether they're large things or small things, but really take the time to delve into who am I? Create goals and things for yourself, and travel. Go places and see things by yourself, because it's a different light than when you go with someone. But you have to experience life and be happy, and I'm not going to say content, because I don't think content is a good place to be when you're alone, but really be happy. Once you find what makes you happy and where your joy is, then you're equipped to try to transfer that to somebody else.
I've heard people talk about it, but I really didn't really think about it until you said it now. Having a relationship with yourself. It's everybody get into a relationship to find happiness.
Yeah.
And then if you don't try to have a relationship with yourself and be happy about it, how are you expecting another person who you don't know you that much and going to give you that happy?
And I think you're setting yourself for disappointment, because when your happiness is dependent upon something or someone outside of yourself, what happened when they leave?
Mm-hmm.
You're not happy anymore? I mean, you back at square one? So I think we have to have, as men, we have to have found that, And when we allow people into our lives, or we get into people's lives, I feel like our job is not to make one another happy, but kind of contribute to that happiness. Because my happiness may be, I like to sit and read books every Saturday morning from 7 to 9. Mm-hmm. If you do nothing more than buy me a book to read from 7 to 9 on Saturday, that's contributing to my happiness. I think the thing is, we're not supposed to disrupt one another's happiness.
Mm-hmm.
So
it took you 1 year to have a relationship with yourself, and then you went on to have a relationship with a woman?
Nah, that's kind of ongoing. Because I think as you evolve and as you grow, that relationship constantly, it has to be rebuilt in a way. Kind of like with a manhood plan, how you constantly have to change and grow. But my first relationship that I got into, I honestly, I hadn't planned on staying in it. It was just something to kind of get my feet wet to see, okay, let's see what the dating scene is like. Was I the potential for it to be, but I knew it wasn't immediately after meeting the person, but it was like, this person is cool, this person is comfortable. And I know as long as I don't put myself in a compromising position that we can grow a friendship. But yeah, my first, that wasn't it.
So how long you been out already?
12 years.
12 years? So that's you continue to have a self-relationship? Or?
Yes, have to. And this is the thing. So as everybody know, I was married for 5 years, and after my divorce, I took that 3-year window to rebuild my relationship with myself. Because when you're married or in another relationship, you can lose yourself if you don't pay attention to what you're doing. And I really had to refine myself and rebuild who I was individually. So yeah, and it's still a process for me, because you're learning every day. You're learning more about yourself every day.
So what are some of the activities? You mentioned about reading books and go travel, but what are some of the things that you can practice doing that you are building that relationship with yourself?
Date yourself. I know that sounds crazy, but I mean, seriously.
Go out and have a meal by yourself, and then go watch a movie by yourself?
Watch a movie by yourself. Anything that you can do with someone else, you can have just as much fun doing it by yourself. And you want to know the crazy thing about it? We live in such a society to where when people see you like that, half the people is almost like they pity you, and the other half is they're always trying to interact with you, And me being me, I always do or say something stupid, and really just throw them off, because this is my me time. And I think a lot of people sacrifice their me time because they'll allow a woman to step into that space, where they're trying to develop themselves. But I mean, I think we reach a point to where we know, or we'll meet that woman, and we'll know instantly if this is the person that we're supposed to invest time in, invest ourselves in, and see where it goes.
So actually, today's topics is a lot more than relationship between a boy and a girl, man and woman's, and yourself. It's actually it's everyone.
Yeah.
All right. So I looked up into relationship, and the thing that came to my mind was the circle influence from Stephen Covey, 7 highly effective people. So in this circle influence, they were talking about the circle control. And the relationship in the circle, the control, I feel like the people is living under the same roof with me. My wife, my children. These are the people that I care more enough that I want to exert, the control.
Right.
And control in thinking, molding, and shaping how they are with their life. So and then outside of that circle is they call it circle influence, right?
Right.
So in there, that's your co-workers, people that you can extend your arm out, that you influence them by the conversation that you have with them. You can influence by your character, who you are, what you do, your habit.
Yeah. Most
So the third circle is the circle of concern.
Yeah, those are reactive people. Those are reactive situations after the fact.
Yeah, so the circle of concern is like the weather. You're concerned about it, but there's nothing you can do to change it.
Nothing.
Okay,
Lay
so-
back and enjoy.
So some of the discussions on the social media, you can put out there as much as you can. It is your circle of concern,
Right.
but there's nothing you can do to change it.
Facts. And the crazy part about it, in a circle of concern, you still have those people who look to you, though, also from that circle of influence, like, do something about this, do something about this. It's kind of like, you know what? It's the weather. We can't do anything about it. Let's get an umbrella, stay dry. But, I think also, like we was talking about earlier, is that another level of relationship. Because if for instance, let's use the brothers page. It's all men. And that's man's relationship with other men, which we need that. Because man's relationship with other men is going to help him, and it's kind of like how all your relationships come together. If you're happy and healthy in all of your relationships, then you're going to be a great relationship person. It's kind of like our relationship. Let's use our relationship. There's an intimacy in our relationship, and what that means is I don't have a problem with you, Tim, seeing into me, my weaknesses, my strengths, my shortcomings, all of that. Whereas men, we're raised almost with a competitive nature to where we can't show any weakness. We don't address the 3 things that help us be men. You hurt me, I don't know, I need help. And that put us in situations. But we have to have healthy relationships with other men as well, because that's needed.
So why we have such a problem with having a relationship with another man when you see young boys out there playing with other young boys, but then what changed when we grow up?
The absence of fathers, the loss of human interaction. Because I think with technology and social media, it took a lot of us away from each other, and we spend more screen time. So we don't have that human interaction. We don't have find out where you fit on the food chain. We have a lot of participation award stuff going on.
I think when you were younger, it's a lot of competitive. You race with each other on your bike, your skateboard, or whatever it is. You turn the relationship into a competitive nature.
Right.
Right. There's no nurture in there. Right. And then to get to a point where this thing doesn't matter anymore, so you end the relationship. Right. And then the only nurturing man-to-man relationship that you're supposed to have is with the right father, right?
Right.
And then majority of the guys that went to prison are raised by the mother.
Right.
So there is no nurture relationship between a father and a son or a man and a man. And when, even the word saying that nurture between a man and a man, it doesn't sound right. So we don't have that.
All right.
So it's very, very difficult. So until I know you for so long or we work together for so long, it's like I can't be vulnerable around
Right.
you, or else it just doesn't seem natural.
Right. Especially in this day and time where everybody is homophobic. Oh, say, that's a pretty cool picture. Everybody is suffering from all of these stigmas that society places out there. It's most definitely is, I can't show you my vulnerability. And I think also another element of that is trust. Because I think trust issues will keep us from being vulnerable and really connecting in relationships. And that's all of our relationships. If we don't trust or have trust or know how to trust, we withhold something in all of our relationships.
All right, I think that's
Let's
pretty
shout,
much.
let's shout out who we got with us today. Donald Jones, good evening, happy Thanksgiving. J-Mo in the building, single and satisfied. Ha ha. Tim Stovall, I hope you're not driving that truck, bro. Glad y'all joined us. Anybody else that's on, y'all say what's up, we'll say what's up back.
All right, so at this time we have updates.
Yes, so inside, both units are off lockdown and preparing for events that are coming up. Cleveland, they're actually going to start recording. Actually, Esther's going to start recording their initial pitches next week for Big Idea Canvas. Cleveland is getting ready to do their first workshop pitches. Also, as we all know, it's holiday season inside prison, so your emotions are up and down. One of the things that we're going to do that we can control in our circle of influence, we're going to have some power with the guys tomorrow on the unit to kind of let them know that, even though we won't be here on Thanksgiving, this is our Thanksgiving, and we kind of, we with you, you with us in spirit. Something like, just kind of continue to build a brotherhood and give them hope. So that's what we'll be doing on the inside.
So during the holiday season, that's when you're seeing a lot of, guys are missing home, feeling, lonely. And it's, we currently working with a lot of guys from our 80-something unit. Right. And it's the correspondent course. These guys don't know anything about PEP. And this year, we want to, extend some of the love to those guys also. So we're doing what we call a adoption week. Right. So they just started the Leadership Academy. We are getting executives and alumni to write, welcome letter to these guys. It's similar to the kickoff that we used to have.
Right, but it's more one-on-one, more in touch, give you more time to kind of just really identify and connect with those guys. And doing it, I don't care where a guy's from, I don't care if he's black, white, Hispanic, it doesn't matter. You always see something in there that say, you know what, I remember that, And that's been cool for me personally, and I think for some of the guys who are on here who have written, I think they can attest to that as well.
Aren't you supposed to send an email out to some alumni to recruit them for the adoption week?
Yes, and as soon as I get with Tara and Jeff, I'm going to do that tomorrow. So for you guys who are on here, be on the lookout. Look on the PEP Brothers page. We're coming for you.
All right, from the outside, you can see no construction progress, but we made a huge progress. We approve on the budget. We're gonna start permitting process, which is submitting the floor plan to the city to get their approval to start building. That could take a month. So you could see us for 4 more weeks with this background, and then you can start see a little construction. We might not be able to do this in here, or we might have to do it at the door. But we're going to show you little progress every week.
That's right. It will be progress. And they most definitely want to be here next week.
What's going on next week?
Next week? Is that not next week?
Next Thursday?
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. Oh, yeah. I'm drawing a blank.
You already on Thursday.
Yeah, I'm on Thursday already. I'm thinking about turkeys already. I thought today was Thanksgiving because of the
Yeah.
Thanksgiving lunch that we have here.
Very festive. So you want to tell them about it, or you want to wait to the end,
No,
or just let them tune in?
yeah, let them tune in.
Let them tune in.
Okay, next week we have a special topic. Is one of the first. So I guess 3 of you guys be there.
Yeah, 3. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. So your 3 times 3 times 3. I'm not that good in math, but y'all figure that out. So, what do you think? Nobody had any input for us today. Hopefully they'll come back on the video later and ask some comments, and we can have more discussion about these relationships. Nope. All right, Tim, it's good to know that you're off for a week. Family time, that's a good relationship builder. Park that truck and get out there. So, you ready for Thanksgiving?
Yep, I'm ready. Where you gonna have your Thanksgiving at?
Everywhere, man. So, of course, volunteering in the morning at George R. Brown, got a group of co-workers and so forth who said, you know what, let's go. So we're gonna do that.
What time is your
5:30.
5:30 in the morning?
5:30 in the morning.
Okay. Yeah.
So normally I'm usually there from like 5:30 to noon, because I'll take a shift and I'll work, and then I'll take a shift and I'll interact. But with the pandemic still alive, and everything has to be mask and gloves according to their guidelines, so it kind of take away from that whole vibe of meeting, talking, and interacting with people. So I may not do that, but I'm going to be Thanksgiving all over the state of Texas.
All right. We next week we're going to see Pat about 10 pounds heavier.
That's okay, but I'm on a plan. You're going to see me 35 pounds lighter by the end of January.
You want to do another bet?
Let's
Get
do
a free
another
steak
bet.
dinner?
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it for February. I do a weigh-in. We're gonna do a weigh-in next week. How about that? So, man, it's been a good day. It's been a good show. Hopefully, you guys got something out of this conversation that sparked other conversations. Remember, though, man, we're on a journey to celebrate 1 million stories. Today, a different topic. Innovative topic, topic that was necessary. Quentin Monner, hold on. Before we get out of it, Quentin Monner. Bro, I don't think I've heard from you since Moby Dick was a minnow. So glad to have you join us. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family as well. You remember Quentin Monner?
Yeah, I remember him.
Man, okay, y'all tell a friend. But remember though, fellas, like I said, we're on a mission to celebrate 1 million stories, and today we're moving closer to that goal. Let's think about freedom. Freedom demands responsibility. Responsibility demands accountability. So until next week, same bat channel, same bat place. Peace.